Hey, I'm Mark from Ridge and River, and we're gonna try something different today. I call it old school ramblings from an old head. Today I'm gonna talk about Nike Snowboarding. Nike Snowboarding, if you're not familiar with it, they had a meteoric rise in snowboard world. They came out about 2010, were done by 2014. I'm just gonna say now, if anyone's gonna fact check me, I don't care. I ordered them, I carried them, so this is off my memory. I don't hear in the comments, dude, you're wrong. So this is kind of just my recollections of the Nike world. When they came in 2010, they announced they were coming in. They kind of came in really, I guess in a bad way. They bought up Burden, GNU, they had Nicholas Mueller, Danny Cass, they just bought out everyone's rider and paid them a Nike wage. So they had the killer team set up. The snowboard industry, before they put product out, we were all aghast. And Rome had a campaign to why do it instead of just do it. Everyone was kind of busting on them. No one wanted to see Nike come into the snowboard world. This is back in the core era. Anything ski, anything big corporation, we hated. But Nike kind of was coming in. Every one of us was skeptical. And Nike did it the right way when they started opening accounts. They didn't go big box chains. They went to little specialty core shops. It was super cool. They actually coveted us little guys that were just barely hanging on. So we started getting them in 2011. They came out, the first boot was the Nike Vapen. So they came out with the Nike Vapen. Remembering right, $199. This is my old pair, $199 lace boot. They had a BOA version, $249. They had something called the Zoom Force, which I don't have. The Zoom Force, I want to say was like $249. Stiffer version of the Vapen, kind of based off more of their Slam Dunk Nike series, their Jordans. Super cool stuff. So when they came out, the look was super cool. This is my daughter's Vapen here, the gold one. But when they came out, the look was cool, the demand was crazy. We sold them pretty well. The fit spoke for itself. So Nike had a lot of innovative stuff. Not only they look good, just a lot of stuff at the time that was great. Once you put them on, it was hard not to like them. You wanted to hate them, but you couldn't. And then I can't tell you the year, but it must have been around 2012, 2013, somewhere around there. Lil Wayne was on the MTV VMAs. Performed in Nike Vapens. Literally did a little song set there, had a little stage set there, had his Vapens on, unlaced. Literally the next day, we had so much calls for Nike snow boots. Half the people calling didn't even know they were snowboard boots. They just wanted to know if we had the Nike snow boots. We sold so many of those that went clubbing and never hit a hill. So like after the VMAs with Lil Wayne, and check me on the years, I don't give a crap, but 2013, 2012, whatever it was insane. We sold so many then, and from that time on, we couldn't keep them in stock. We always got a trade publication back at the time. The trade publication was kind of a snowboard only one. They would show kind of the rankings of all the snowboard boots. And I remember Nike was way down there the first year. I want to say they came up to like number 3. It was like Burden 32 and Nike. They were just rising so meteorically on demand on shops that sold boots. We kind of couldn't keep them in stock. We just had a couple years where it was just insane how much we could do. That was probably 2012, 2013. 2014, we loaded up. They came out with a new model. They announced a new model, the Kaiju. Kaiju was a super cool model. Pretty expensive for the day, I'm guessing. Don't hold me to this. $329s, $349s, but the Kaiju took the Vapens, the Zoom Forces, a lot of innovation, just a great fitting boot. I rode these at Big Sky, just all over the Midwest, super fun boot. That same, when we had our order placed, when we started getting our Nikes in that fall of 2014, our rep called us and told us Nike's getting out of the snowboard business. So literally with no warning, our orders win. We were told after our boots arrived that they're no longer making boots. The smart move would have been probably to order as many as I could, but I wasn't that smart. When they announced it, we couldn't believe it. The reason we got was from the rep that even though they were number 3, super popular, I mean, they were rising all the time, the innovations were great, they were marketing them great, their team was great, that it just wasn't profitable for Nike being such a huge corporation. Their profit margins in snowboard were so little, they ended up turning all that money, shut that division down, put it into skate. The skate division had higher profit margins. So it wasn't due to a lack of popularity, because they were truly coming up hard every year. That just Nike wasn't making enough money on poor snowboarders, the profit margin wasn't there, so they kind of dumped out of it. To Nike's credit, their team that they bought, and whatever Olympics was coming up then, but they agreed to keep their team, pay them their full wages through the Olympics, and give them new products. So you could actually, the sponsored riders were still getting product, new boots. You couldn't get them, but to Nike's credit, they actually paid they didn't, terminate their salaries, their contracts. They actually paid them through their Olympics, paid them through what they sold them for. So that's kind of my thing on Nike. I can go through some of the innovations they had. Vapens, which this is the Vapen. This is my old lace one. One of the cool things about this boot was super soft flexing boot. Man, I love this boot. I rode this thing way past when it was cashed out. Their inner boot was super nice. When you tightened it up, it had this system where you pulled it up, pulled it down like this so you could really cinch it down. Super nice inner boot system. Also on the inner boot system, when you pulled it up, it actually pulled your heel back in. So they have this little harness thing here that pulled it in. This liner was super comfortable. I just rode the crap out of these. Super soft flexing boot, I loved it. Vapens were super fun. The Kaiju took everything to a whole different level. So the Kaiju was, and this was like innovation from the Vapens, from the Zoom Forces. They had this little speed lace here, which I kind of would tie my boot up, and at my leisure I could finish lacing it. Super nice design, super cool there. But when I pull my inner boot out, you can kind of see they really flexed on their inner boot. So the inner boot, definitely a lot of heat moldable back then. It wasn't as common as you think it was. Just a super comfortable liner. This boot also boasted a harness system. So if you can see it, when I pulled this string, it wasn't really controlling my inner boot. It was actually pulling my heel back to the harness system. Just loved it for Nike. Those Kaijus were great. Air insole in it, so me stomping my 2-foot jumps, I wasn't hurting my little heels. The only thing bad about it, this is a Remind insole, so it looks on my original ones, I put a Remind in it. Their stock insoles were pretty basic, but Nike, when they came into it, they kind of did everything right. People love them, people still covet Nikes. This is their old insole, if I can get it out of my daughter's boot. You can see the stock insole. You can see we have dog hair. But the stock insole is nothing special. I think I put Reminds in every one of mine. But they were so comfortable. They're kind of like desired online. I'm gonna say, like, if you're still wearing Nikes, I retired my Vapens years ago. If you're still wearing Nikes, man, those Nikes are cashed out, man. Get a new boot. But Nike, pretty cool boots. Nostalgia, we hated them at first. Their fit and performance spoke volumes, so you couldn't hate them just because of that. That's Nike. Oh, by the way, the Kaijus, you got these cool socks with them. I don't think I ever wore them. So the Kaijus gave you these little hairy leg socks to go with them. That's it. Rambling some old guy about some old snowboard stuff that doesn't exist anymore. Bye.